Hi there, welcome to bitesizeblender.com. In this very quick tutorial we're going to run through how to use text in Blender. It is actually catered for very well and I love using it, although it's not very well documented and I haven't found too many tutorials on it. But with the inclusion of the new Cycles renderer you can actually get some seriously quick and beautiful looking effects with text. We're going to take our default scene, we're going to hit the delete key and remove that cube. We're actually going to select this light and delete it, as the Cycles render engine doesn't really use lights in the same way. We're going to switch to 7, which is the top view, and hit Shift A to add and choose text. We now have some text in there, and what we're going to do is hit the tab key to tab into edit mode, delete the text and add whatever you want. So let's go for something like Blender, hit the tab key, and now we have some 2D text. By default, Blender adds everything text-wise in 2D, but it gives you the ability to switch here to the object data and add, or extrude as it were, some three-dimensionality to the text. The great thing is this is still editable. We haven't actually got a fixed object at the moment, so we can also add a bit of a bevel, which means those edges are going to have a little curve to them. And now you've got a few other options down here. One which is regularly asked for is how do you change the font in Blender? Well, the main one you want to use here is the regular font. So we're actually going to go to this sort of folder icon, click that, and we're going to open a font. Now by default I'm using Windows 7, so your Windows 7 location, Windows and fonts has got all your TrueType fonts in it. So I'm going to choose let's say Comic Sans Serif, double click on that font, and I automatically now beautifully have my Blender in Comic Sans. You can change a few of the other options here to do with the size and whether they're bold italics, but don't forget, if you start to change the bold italics down here, you're going to actually have to choose the relevant font up here. A couple of other things that you can do which is really fun. If I grab this and move it up, and I do Shift A, and what I'm going to do is add a curve, a Bezier curve. Move this down a little bit. On my curve, I just switch to my text. I can do text on a curve, which means I can choose the Bezier curve we've just added, and my text is now applied along that curve. So if I now select my Bezier curve, tab into edit mode, and start to grab these handles, I can now affect exactly how my text is going around a curve. I'll just rotate that around a bit, grab it, okay, tab out of edit mode, and I'm actually just going to hit H and hide that Bezier curve because I don't want it rendered or anything. I just want to use it to make some fun text. We're going to be using the Cycles render engine, which is extremely powerful, and when used with text it's brilliant. So I'm just going to select my object and go into the materials panel and choose a new type of material. I won't bother naming it for the moment because we're just having fun. Give it a color, and I'm actually going to make this look out of glass. So give it a glass material. Now I can immediately switch to the render view just to have a look, but what I want to do is to make my background a little bit brighter. So I'm going to take my world and my world color, and I'm going to make that quite bright. Right, now I'm going to change from the viewport up to the rendered mode. So this is the Cycles render preview. I've set mine to 100 samples. So every time I zoom in or I move around, I get 100 samples and it refines it. But that's a way in Blender that you can use text extremely quickly and get some beautiful looking results, whether you want a mirrored surface or whether you want this glass effect or any other way. I'm just going to quickly switch back to the solid view. And another thing you need to know is that you can't always apply constraints or various effects onto text unless you convert it to a mesh. The way to convert it to a mesh is have your text selected, go down to your object menu, and you need to come up to the top and you need to convert mesh from curve or text. And once you've done that, your text now becomes uneditable, so I can't hit tab and use the edit because it's now actually made it a full mesh. What you also want to find is the quality that you get when it's still in text mode is really good at rendering in cycles, so you might want to keep it as text, or if you really want to do something fancy with particle systems and other stuff, you will have to convert it to a mesh. Thanks for watching this short tutorial on text, and we'll join you in the next one. Thank you.